Welcome back. It's Sports Talk here on Atlantic Television Network. Equal Temple is here.
It's a delightful morning. So glad to be here today, Mr. Siri.
I just started on the local scene. Team Nigeria begins championship on what is described now as a very bright note because the colorful Team Nigeria started quest to defend the team title. Of course, reclaim the individual crown.
See how far that goes. I just hope that they will do the needful, especially when they 3 tackles with Sierra Leone today.
Talk about Sierra Leone, ranked number 58 in the world of cricket, up against Nigeria, ranked at 41. But we saw Zambia and South Africa well ranked above Nigeria, still in this mix, April.
Yes, they are still in the mix, all in the quest to pick the ticket, and that's why I said that Nigeria must do everything possible to see how far they can reclaim. This is one man who have been there in 2019. He did the needful with his, so giving them those tips will be very useful. I just hope that Uya Apata, who have done so well in cricket, ensuring that we get there, will continue to also motivate the boys. I think so far this season we have seen since the emergence of Uya Apata, we've seen the change in narrative when it comes to cricket. Right now we're representing. Before we are nothing. We're not doing badly at all because it's on the way today.
Yellow Greens. That's how the cricket is. And of course, their quest on the 19th
year, and I think that we can do that if only we'll be able to do the needful. The World Cup in Sri Lanka is the biggest. Sri Lanka is a known country, known for cricket, and when you look, it's something very dramatic. I feel that he can even do more, and this is just a starter. He could just be the man that will also do well for United States when the World Championship comes closer. So for me, it's a good way to start this season.
Leo's new 200 meters world champion. They are beating the record set by Usain Bolt many years ago. Meanwhile, at the Diamond League in London, we saw Maria Jones. Yes, remember her? That's the Ivorian sprinter. Maria Jose Talou hit the finish line in 10.75 seconds to win women's 100 meters event ahead of the home girl Asha Smith that put up a record time of 10.85 seconds. 10.75 coming from the Ivorian. It is commendable, though she came in a very flying colors there.
Yeah, 10.75 is a good one because it's also a record time finish. I'm sure this is our best finish this season. We've already had very difficulty getting to post 9 points because at their category you expect such, but then she needs to do very well. I just feel for Anna Dina Schmidt, who of course a lot of us, she's a home girl. A lot of us expect her to do something great in that particular one, but then take nothing for granted. When the main race comes on the way, we'll get to see those who will really take the shine. But then Sharika Jackson has always been. This is her 3rd race now in 3 weeks, and she has always been getting a podium finish. So it's all this get towards the big one, preparatory ground for the big one. So let's see how far it all goes. But I'm loving the way the Diamond League is being shaped up this season.
Diamond League in London, it's shaping up really good there with records.
Welcome to the StarTimes 35th anniversary celebration. To say thank you to every StarTimes family for being an integral part of our journey. StarTimes has decided to give you a price slash on decoders. Yes, we are slashing the price of our antenna decoder from 8,900 naira to 7,500 naira and the dish decoder from 13,300 naira to 9,900 naira. But that's not all. Existing subscribers can recharge for 2 months on their current bouquet and get upgraded to the next higher bouquet. And if you recharge on the classic or super bouquet, you'll receive a fantastic reward of extra 15 days of free viewing. You can enjoy our top local and international content. So, what are you waiting for? Quickly, visit any StarTimes outlet around you to recharge or buy your decoder between June 12th to August 31st to enjoy this fabulous offer. Wow! Yay! Let the celebration begin! StarTimes. Entertain your family.
Telling him not to counterpunch.
back. This is Sports Talk here on Atlantic Television Network, and we're keeping you abreast with the latest happening around the world of sports. And over the weekend, yesterday to be specific, the Hungarian Grand Prix was lighting up quite a lot of motorsports fans. And in Formula One, we saw Max Verstappen back again as 11th-time winner this season in Formula One. Epo, Red Bull and Formula One can't stop winning. 11 win, in the course of the season that is just barely under about 13 races.
I mean, it's very glaring now that Red Bull might just win all of the races. It doesn't look like this is just different, because what we saw yesterday with the way Hamilton, he had a pole position, and a lot of people expected that Hamilton would do everything needful to get it done. But then the main race is so different, and this is so different this season, and it looks like they're going to coast home. Sergio Perez is gradually coming back. He finished third yesterday, and so a whole lot. If it's not McLaren, it's going to be Alonso, and so it looks like something dramatic. But the first place finish will always be Red Bull, because they have what it takes. If it's not Max Verstappen, then Sergio Perez, and that's a good thing for them.
Talk about the Red Bull having their two drivers on the podium at the weekend at Hungary. We saw Max Verstappen in the first place position. In third place was Sergio Perez, the third driver. Lando Norris is in the mix again. McLaren continue to be on the podium. Echo.
McLaren is also gradually coming. I mean, if you look at the rankings, I think they are top. They are third or fourth now. Okay, they are third, because Ferrari has really fallen down the pecking order. So if you look at Red Bull, look at the team messages, and then you look at McLaren, and they've done so far this season. Alonso, Lando Norris, what a blend for them. But I think that it's different because it looks like that nobody contending for the first place finish rather. What we see is just Red Bull coasting home, and then others will just follow. So it's Red Bull and other constructors this season, and I just wonder at what point are we going to see, because they have 12 wins so far. This season, breaking the record of Mercedes a few years ago, and so I'm just sense also suffer same fate. Yesterday he finished, both of them finished 8th and 9th, 7th and 8th respectively. That shows that there's total decline in the way they are going about things. But let's see how far. This is the end of the Hungarian Grand Prix. I hope that in the next coming days, when we prepare for the next race, the Belgian Grand Prix, we should be able to see something different if same fate will not occur again.
Well, it doesn't figure there for Red Bull, and they are doing so well for themselves this season, just like we saw of them last season. Let's go to tennis now, and ahead of the US Open, which is the next major Grand Slam in the world of tennis, we'll have some preparatory tournaments, especially the Swedish Open that's taking place in Bastad, and Andrew Rublev took the better of Casper Ruud in straight sets to win the Swedish Open title. It was 7-5, 7-6, 6-love straight set win for Andrew Rublev from Russia.
Andrew Rublev is a good player, a player who is in the top 10. We saw how he was, how he hesitated the Wimbledon, but then he's always a fine player. When these big names are not there, you expect him to do the needful, and he just showcased one of those things he's known for at that level.
Casper Ruud, world number 4.
For Casper Ruud, I mean, Andrew Rublev, Casper Ruud, Hugo Rune, Jannik Sinner. These players have a core strength when it comes to matching orders. So sometimes when you get to see them play against each other, you can really never predict who gets to be winning always. As especially when you want to compare the likes of world number 1 now, Carlos Alcaraz and Djokovic. You expect that Djokovic should be able to win when Carlos is not there as it stands now, because
Novak Djokovic has withdrawn from the Canadian Open, Toronto Masters event, citing fatigue. Is he really fatigued?
I think it's fatigue. But a lot might just happen. I mean, he could go into that tournament and misfire. Don't forget, he has won that tournament 4 times, and if he needs to be at his best at any point in time now, from the target of Djokovic and what we saw, the rivalry between him and Carlos Alcaraz, they look like any tournament they go into is a must-win tournament, especially if they are the top seeded player in that tournament. So it looks like it looks diminishing, or it looks bad for them if they go into a tournament and they don't get to win it, because all eyes will be on them winning it, and so anything less than that is total failure. So for him, he selects the sort of tournament that he goes into now that will prepare him for the Grand Slams, and for him anything less than the Grand Slam is no match for him.
the Canadian Open without world number 2 Novak Djokovic, and he will not be there. He's been replaced by organizers, and no other person than Chris Eubank, the man who made a very strong statement at the last Wimbledon Championship, is taking the position of Novak Djokovic.
Chris Eubank is a known name in the lips of many now. Owed to what he was able to do, getting to the later stages of the Wimbledon, and I think that it's a clear statement of fact that he has what it takes to see do in the coming days. But then I want to believe that if you are taking a place, if you are filling the shoes of Novak Djokovic, a lot of expectations from you. I just hope that this will not put more pressure on him, as he prepares for the Canadian Open. The Canadian Open is one of the play, and of course in Toronto you get to see this one live. So I hope that he will be at the burden of taking over, the place of Novak Djokovic. But let's see how far. Next month, 8 precisely, the first week of next month or the first weekend, we'll get to see the Toronto Open gets underway.
I think of a 2-year tenure, different from the 3 months he was initially given as head of interim management committee. Do you agree with the Nigerian Football Federation that Legbe should really pilot Premier League football in Nigeria for the next 2 years?
Yes, on the capacity for which he has been called, I think yes. A man is known for his past actions, and if that is true, then the recent action of what they were able to put up in few months given to them is such commendable. And take nothing for granted. I think that Legbele, with his experience when he was in the lower chamber, is also one that should be reckoned with, and he also showed that clearly. His integrity was at stake, but yet he was able to prove a lot of that as well, even within the short period given to them. So I think that if he can do that in an interim capacity, nothing stopping him from also achieving greater feats when he has
Nigerian football to the glorious fortune season, but no date has been fixed. April, is this the way to run?
A concrete statement from the board as to when the MPFL will kick off, and I still believe that it doesn't matter even if they're going to start harshly. I still feel that they will start. The only challenge will be the way they started brightly by doling out some amount of money, millions of naira, to all the teams last season. Would that be so? As stands now, looks dark as to when we're going to start. But even if we don't start before the other league starts, I still believe that starting in August would be a fine one for me. It's not a bad.
And it is one where you talk about content, and will be known today courtesy of a draw that will see 54 club sides from 42 member countries engage in the CAF Champions League, and I think there will be 52 clubs representing 41 member countries from CAF competing in the CAF Confederations Cup. Really good.
When it comes to the broadcast rights and also making more money, from the teams, the national teams.